Hello students, a very pleasant and warm greetings to you all. Today we are going to learn a new lesson. The title of the lesson is Animal Kingdom. Lesson number 17. About 75% of all species on earth are animals. These animals are again classified into two types. They are vertebrates and invertebrates. Nearly 1.5 million species of organisms which have been described are different from one another. So, maximum organisms are different from one another. Every organism exhibits variation in their external appearance, internal structure, behavior, mode of living, etc. The diversity among the living organisms can be studied in an effective way by arranging in an orderly and systematic manner. The study of various organisms would be difficult without a suitable method of classification. So, if the animals are not arranged properly, we cannot learn the animals easily. We cannot learn. Okay, if it is arranged, we can learn easily. So, that classification is very necessary. The method of arranging organisms into groups on the basis of similarities and differences is called classification. So, classification meaning arranging or the method of arranging organism into groups on the basis of similarities and dissimilarities or differences, that is known as classification. Taxonomy is a science of classification which makes the study of wide variety of organisms easier. So, taxonomy means that is a science of classification which makes the study of wide variety of organisms easier. So, this taxonomy helps us to understand the relationship among different group of animals. So, taxonomy help us to understand the relationship among different groups of animals. Now, learning objectives. So, through this video, we are going to learn classification of animal kingdom, different groups of animals, general characteristics of animals, grades of organization, types of symmetry, salient features of each phylum. So, these are the learning objectives. Through this video, we are going to learn. So, listen carefully. So, next one, Carolus Linnaeus. So, he is a Swedish botanist. He generated the standard system for naming organism in terms of genus, species and more extensive groupings using Latin words. So, the first systematic approach to the classification of living organisms was made by a Swedish botanist. 5 kingdom of classification. This 5 kingdom classification you might have studied in the lower classes. The 5 kingdom classification are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. These groups are formed based on cell structure, mode of nutrition, body organization and reproduction. The next one is hierarchy classification. It is a sequence arrangement of classification from species to kingdom called hierarchy. Species to kingdom, that is called hierarchy. On the basis of hierarchy of classification, the organisms are separated into smaller and smaller groups which form the basic unit of classification. So, smaller and smaller groups form the basic unit of classification. The classification are kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. So, one by one we have to learn. The first one is species. It is the lowest taxonomic category. Species is the lowest taxonomic category. For example, Indian parakeet and green parrot. The scientific name of Indian parakeet is Psittacula eupatra and the scientific name of green parrot is Psittacula crameri. Both belongs to same genus and they belongs to different species, eupatra and crameri. Because of the small variations, slight variations, they comes under different species, eupatra and crameri. But the genus same, Psittacula. Understand, children? Yes, so species is the lowest category. Example, Indian parakeet and green parrot. So, next one. Next one is genus. Next one is genus. It is the higher category. It is a group of closely related species which constitute the higher category called genus. Okay, so it is the group of closely related species which constitute the higher category, that is called genus. Example, Indian wolf and Indian jackal. Indian wolf and Indian jackal. The scientific name of Indian wolf is Canis phalippus and the scientific name of Indian jackal is Canis auris. They belongs to same genus and the species name is different, phalippus and auris. Because of the slight variations, small variations, they comes under different species. The next one is family. Third one, family. So it is the next higher category. Family is the next higher category. A group of genera with several common characters form a family. A group of genera which is with several common characters. So common characters that comes under this family. For example, leopard, tiger and cat. So they have some common characters. Because of that, they belongs to cat family, Felidae. The name of the cat family is Felidae. Why? They have some of the common characters. Because of that only, they comes under the cat family. So the name of the cat family is Felidae. So family is the higher category. Got it, children? Yes. So the next one is order. Next one is order. So that is the next higher category. Order is the next higher category. A number of related families having common characters are placed in an order. So a number of closely related families, they are having some of the common characters are placed in an order. For example, monkeys, apes and human. So they have some of the special characters, same common characters. Because of that, they comes under the same order, primates. Okay, because of some common features, they all placed in the same order. The name of the order is primates. Understand, children? So the next one is class. The next one is class. It is the next higher category. Class is the next higher category. Related or similar orders together form a class. Is it? Related or similar orders. Related or similar orders together forms a class. The orders of different animals like rabbit, rat, bat and human, they possess some of the common features such as the presence of skin and mammary gland. Some common characters. So the characters are mammary gland. Because of that, they comes under the same class Mammalia. See all these pictures. So whale, elephant, kangaroo, zebra. So they have some of the common features such as the presence of skin and mammary gland. Because of that, they comes under the same class Mammalia. Understand, children? Yes. Moving on to the next one. The next one is phylum. The next one is phylum. Classes which are related with one another constitute a phylum. Classes which are related with one another constitute a phylum. Closely related classes. The classes of different animals like mammals, bats, reptiles, frogs and fishes constitute the phylum Chordata, which have a notochord or backbone. So the mammals, bats and reptiles, they are comes under the same phylum Chordata. Why? Because they have the chordata means they have the notochord or backbone. Because of that, they comes under the same phylum Chordate. They are having the backbone or notochord. So the next one is the last one. Last one is kingdom. The last one is kingdom. It is the highest category. The kingdom is the highest category and the largest division to which microorganisms, plants and animals belongs here. Okay, it is the highest category and closely related phylums comes under this kingdom. Okay, each kingdom is different from one another. That is important. Each kingdom is different from one another, but has the same fundamental characteristics in all organisms grouped under that kingdom. Basis of classification. We can divide the animal kingdom based on the level of organization. Level of organization means arrangement of cells, body symmetry, germ layers and nature of coelom. So first one, level of organization. Animals are grouped as unicellular or multicellular organism based on cell level, tissue level, organ level and organ system level. So level of classification, animals are grouped as unicellular organism, that means having only one cell, multicellular having more than one cell, based on cell level, tissue level, organ level and organ system level. Animal body plan and symmetry. The arrangement of an animal's body part is called its symmetry. So symmetry means arrangement of an animal's body parts. There are three types of symmetries are there: asymmetry, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. What are the three types of symmetry? Asymmetry, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Asymmetry means animals that do not have an orderly body plan. Animals that do not have an orderly body plan. Example, sponges. So by seeing the picture itself, we can identify the sponges do not have an orderly body plan. So this is known as what? Asymmetry. The second one is radial symmetry. The body parts are arranged in a circle around a central axis or central point. For example, starfish. So this is a central axis, is a central point. So the body parts are arranged in a circle around the central point. So this is known as what? Radial symmetry. Then third one is bilateral symmetry. The body consists of two similar halves. So here, if the animal is cut through the central axis, we can get two identical halves. So when the animal is cut through the central axis, we can get two identical halves. That is known as what? Bilateral symmetry. Example, frog and crab. The next one is germ layer. These germ layers are formed during the development of an embryo. So the germ layers are formed during the development of an embryo. These layers give rise to different organs. So these germ layers only give rise to different organs as the embryo becomes an adult. Then the organisms with two germ layers means that is ectoderm and endoderm, that is known as diploblastic animals. Organisms with two germ layers, the endoderm and the ectoderm, are called diploblastic animals. Example, hydra. Then the organisms with three germ layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So these animals are known as what? Triploblastic animals. Three. So three germ layers are present: ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So these type of organisms or animals are known as what? Triploblastic animals. Example, rabbit. The next one is coelom. Coelom is a fluid filled body cavity. It is a fluid filled body cavity. The coelom separate the digestive tract from the body wall. Coelom separate the digestive tract from the body wall. A true body cavity or coelom is one that is located within the mesoderm. So within the mesoderm, the coelom is present. So based on the nature of the coelom, animals are divided into three groups. Based on the nature of the coelom, these animals are categorized into three groups. They are acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and coelomates or eucoelomates. So three types. Acoelomates. Acoelomates means absence. They do not have body cavity. A means absence. Absence of body cavity, that is known as acoelomates. Example, tapeworm. Pseudocoelomates, second one. They have a false body cavity. They have a false body cavity, that is known as pseudocoelomates. Example, roundworm. Then third one is coelomates. They have a true coelom. The coelomates have a true coelom, that is known as what? Coelomates animals. Example, earthworm and frog. See this picture. This is a acoelomate. This and this, both the pictures, acoelomate. This is a eucoelomate or coelomates. So here ectoderm layer, mesoderm layer and the entoderm layer. But here that is a digestive cavity. Okay, so this type, there is no coelom, absence of coelom. So this is known as what? Acoelomate animals. Example, tapeworm. Then last one, eucoelomate or coelomate. So here ectoderm layer, mesoderm layer and the entoderm layer. Here coelom is present, this area. So this is the coelom area. So coelom is present, the fluid filled body cavity is present. So this type of animals are known as what? Coelomate animals. Example, earthworm and frog.